But right now, we're going to do EB's commercial film breakdown. Traditionally, he does quarterbacks who Washington might select in the draft.
Yep.
Right.
Today, we're going to tackle somebody who was drafted last year, but maybe you could pry him away from Green Bay because they're not idiots. Aaron Rodgers is going to be their quarterback.
So
Just
for a frame of reference, I'm going to give you EB's commercial breakdown from his other people that he's done.
All right.
Here.
Yeah.
He did Zach Wilson. He never gave a
Yeah.
score. All right.
All right. I can't believe I did give a score.
This was pre-score.
All right.
All right. Trey Lance is at the bottom of the list with a 22.6.
Right. He's a great runner. He's an elite runner, but not a great passer. All right.
Kyle Trask is a 73.1.
All right.
And Justin Fields is at the top with an 84.6 on the EB index.
Yeah, that's probably a little high. All right, so I'll give you Jordan Love just because Aaron Rodgers is obviously playing at the top of his game, although in that last series, I don't know what he was doing. They're gonna, if he wants a new contract, they may move on from Jordan. Why keep that guy sitting around for another 2 years?
All right, so which game and what year did you?
Well, I watched every
scout him?
touchdown throw and run of him for the first 2.5 years of his career during the break, okay?
Oh, so
every
for
touchdown, run, and pass.
Okay.
Okay.
That's not really fair.
Yeah, I mean that's all positive highlight plays.
Listen.
You watched one full game of Trey Lance and said that he sucks. Now you're
All
watching.
right, find me one full game. Listen, I got plenty to critique.
Why don't you wait to grill him until he actually gives his review? This is the same thing you do with trivia.
Listen, I thought it was every throw, and then I was like, why is everything ending up at a touchdown? And I saw it was every touchdown.
I know, but we got to have a litmus test here.
I think you have to have a full game.
A baseline or whatever you call it.
Well, it's just it's unfair that you're watching highlights for one quarterback and then a complete game for another.
Listen, that's what I was trying to. You gave me 5 minutes to find the clips. That's what I did. Okay. If you want me to look at all his misses, I can. There's plenty to criticize.
By the way, the reason that we're bringing him up, I just saw an article on FanDuel which has the 3 most likely destinations for Jordan Love, trade destinations. Number 1 is the Steelers, which that seems weird. They just signed Haskins.
Right.
2's the Bears, but 3's Washington.
Okay.
I mean, it's just one guy's opinion.
Right.
By the way, someone who's kind of in the know, I don't know how much in the know, he's got a friend who is with the team, with Washington. Apparently they really like Derek Carr. Just want to throw that name out there.
He's under contract.
He is. They'd have to trade for him.
That's who. Is that who Ron likes, or that's who some of the scouts like?
He didn't really specify.
Trading, giving up any asset for Derek Carr, in my opinion, height of insanity. But that's just me.
Well, he's more of a mobile guy. It's probably someone that Ron would like, but who knows if it's available. I have no idea.
I get sized for the highlight music in the background, Valdez.
All right, but we're not talking about Derek Carr. We're talking about Jordan Love, who I don't even think he suited up this year. I think he was the number 3.
He's number 3, I think, yeah.
Yeah, Utah State guy out of college. You don't realize it because at least it didn't jump out at me. His size is pretty impressive. He's 6'4", It's probably fudged it a little bit, but he's 6'4", 223, so he's a big guy. He's obviously got a strong arm. From what I saw during the commercial break, everything's running out of shotgun, which is always a little bit of a question mark for me. You want to see how he can take snaps from center, even though shotgun is used heavily in the NFL. Guys are wide open by 10 yards off.
Well, it's sometimes defenses.
Sometimes, Jason, 20 yards. It's impossible to miss him. He can run the read option. He's a good runner. He's not as dynamic as Trey Lance. In my opinion, Trey Lance is an elite runner. Trey Lance is like Lamar Jackson running the football. He looks smooth. Here's the thing that I question. Now, I need to watch more, but literally every throw I saw was to his first read. Now, that's not to say...
Because he's wide open.
Well, and he just predetermines who he's going to throw to. That's not to say that he can't read a defense. I don't know if he can. But I know this. Every throw I saw is he just goes to the first option, and he lets it go within 2 seconds.
Right.
So
it's
that's
always tough to find your first read against New Mexico.
Well, I mean, sometimes they're covered. Sometimes it's one-on-one or whatever, but he still just lets it go. There was one time he did do a pump fake, but it was clearly a designed pump fake thing. So I don't know if he could break down a defense and find his third receiver. You don't see that on the tape that I
Does
saw.
he have elite arm talent?
I don't know. I think he has good arm talent. You know, I think it's probably.
Mark
I don't
Murphy
know.
thought he did.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's probably as strong as Haskins. I don't think it's as strong as Haskins' arm, but he's a better athlete than Dwayne.
Sure.
So I don't know. I mean,
Well,
it's
he
pretty.
ran a 4.74 at the combine.
Yeah. He's not an elite Trey Lance type of runner, but
You'll
he
take-
could definitely run read option
I was
and
gonna say,
get
you'll-
it done.
You'll take 4.7 from a QB.
Yeah,
Sure,
no, he
he's
could
fast
definitely
enough.
do it.
Yeah.
He's fast enough, but he's not like Lamar. So I don't know. There'd be a lot of question marks with him just because if I was drafted a quarterback, I want a guy that I could see read defenses and throw to the third and fourth receiver every once in a while. You just don't see that. It's not to say that he can't do it. He just doesn't look like he was asked to do it in college.
And you have no idea how he developed this year. So what is your grade?
Oh, my God. All right, so if I gave Kyle Trask a 73.1, Jesus. And I gave Justin Fields an 84.6, that was a little high. I'm going to say 62.3.
Wow, you'd rather have Kyle Trask. By the way, Jordan Love would be an attractive salary option. According to this, he's only making $610,000.
Well, he's
By the way,
expensive.
if he
he's
can
a
play.
much better athlete than Kyle Trask. It's not even close.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Much better athlete.
Yeah. But is he a
And
better QB?
I don't know.
That's the question.
It's hard to evaluate when guys literally are 20 yards open. And I don't know. Not that many college guys read defenses anymore, right? They just run spread offenses and they just catch it and throw.
Well,
That's all he's doing.
Love was also another guy that from, let's call it a mid-major conference, a group of five conference that play in conference he would dominate, but when he went out of conference and played good teams, he wasn't that good. He got
Yeah.
crushed by LSU. I remember watching that game. He got crushed by Wake Forest.
Wasn't that called also kind of the rap on Josh Allen when he would face
Yeah.
big teams?
Yeah.
Drab and I are noticing a trend. If you don't
Yeah.
play in the SEC, Jason disrespects you.
Oh, if you're not a blue
No.
blood?
Of course.
Yeah,
Well, look,
if you're not playing for a blue blood,
College
Jason,
football snobbery.
Jason
No, I'm just saying
thumbs his nose at
you
you.
can't look at the numbers, the overall numbers, like you can with some other quarterbacks from Power 5 conferences. Yeah, I'll stand by that.
Yeah,
I'm
because
watching it.
the-
Go ahead.
The SEC has 77 point totals, and all of a sudden they play amazing defense.
No, I'm just saying. Oh, come on, please. Why don't you take a look at how many players in the NFL from the SEC versus
Anyway, EB,
the
I
Mountain
think
West?
I think it brings up something interesting. We can throw it out to our callers at 800-636-1067. Maybe we can tie in Derek Carr. If Washington were to trade for somebody, and let's take Matthew Stafford and Deshaun Watson and the dream scenarios of Dak Prescott and Aaron Rodgers off the board. Okay? So the big sillies, they're off the board. But let's put Derek Carr in play because he's not really at that level. Would you rather see Washington go the route of trading for somebody like a Derek Carr, or would you like them to unearth a gem like a Jordan Love, who possibly could be a gem? Maybe he's not. EB gives him a grade in the 60s. That's not great. That's his commercial film breakdown score.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, because I think Derek Carr's going to be expensive. I think
Give me
Derek
the
Carr's really
established
good.
guy. I would take this in this scenario. I would take Derek Carr over Jordan Love. In that scenario.
And by the way, I guess
because
Jordan
you- yeah.
Love
You know what you're getting.
He made $600,000 last year. I think he's set to make like $1.5 million, somewhere
Here's
in there.
probably
but
what
that's,
they
that's not
like.
his cap hit. That's his base salary. You got to
That's
type
right.
his signing bonus. You got to put all that in there.
Yeah, but it's still
He signed
it
a
can't be that
4-year,
much.
$12 million deal. Something
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
not
Yeah,
much.
it's like $3 million is his salary.
$3 million a year ish.
Here's what probably one of the things that attracts him to Carr. He doesn't turn the ball over a lot. He's got 48 touchdowns against just 17 picks in his last 2 seasons.
That's not bad, Cakes.
It's pretty good. I
Yeah.
mean, those are pretty good numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, for his career, he's 170 on the touchdown side, 71 picks.
Right. He can stretch the field. He's got a big arm. He can move a little
He's
bit.
still pretty young, right? How old is he? 30?
Like 28, 29? I don't know.
Derek Carr
He's
is
born in
29.
91.
29. Yeah.
I I'm just saying it's another.
But what do you have to
possibility.
give up to get Derek Carr? You're going to have to give up something
First
decent.
rounder.
You got to give the first rounder at least.
Yeah, I would give up the first rounder for Derek Carr.
I think he's comparable to Stafford.
But he doesn't.
I don't know if I'd give up the first. I would push for maybe 2 seconds or a second and a third.
No,
I
but
don't
if
know
you
that
give
I'm parting with my first rounder for Derek Carr.
I know, but he's not great. But he would solidify your position. It would be you wouldn't be your number one concern anymore. You know what I mean? Maybe it would be your third or fourth concern, but it wouldn't be your number one concern. You know, he could win you 10 games in the right scenario. 10, 11.
I don't see why they would part with him. And I know that Gruden supposedly.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to part with him either.
That's not the
I was just
reason
reading
they
it.
didn't make the
The
playoffs.
GM donk, Mayock, was jocking him about what a
Mayock.
great year he had.
Why would
Well,
they part
what's he
with
gonna
him
say?
and start Mariota? Why would they do that?
Yeah.
Well,
That
that's
doesn't
another
make any
guy.
sense.
That's another guy.
But
that might be
Mariota's got a
possibility.
2-year deal. He's got a 2-year deal. They're not going to give up on him because they loved what they saw as a backup. I just don't see that as a realistic possibility.
saying
I feel
he's
like the Jordan Love thing is more possible.
Yeah, I
Yeah, but
think
you,
it's an
like you
unlikely
said, you want an
scenario.
established guy.
I would
Yeah.
have to know what Martin Mayhew and Marty Herney thought of Jordan Love. Like, if they love him, it's cheap, right? If they loved him coming out of college, why not bring him on? He could be your quarterback of the future. I think more likely than Taylor Heineke. You know,
So if you deal
put
for him,
in
are you-
EB always says, "I want to see Heineke in the room." If you loved him, why not put Jordan Love in the room? I
So
can't
then who's
imagine
your
it being
week
that
one
expensive.
starter? Who's your week one starter if you deal for Jordan Love? Are you planning on it being
Well-
Jordan Love, a guy who has no
Well, is
experience?
Alex
Well, no,
Smith still
it's
here?
got to
Might
be
be
whoever
Alex
wins
Smith.
the job.
Is
It's
Alex
got to
Smith
be
still here?
fair.
Yeah.
Huh.
If you
It's
have
got to be
Jordan Love-
whoever wins the job.
Correct.
You got to have an open competition.
I couldn't see Jordan Love coming in with no pro experience and winning the job against
Yeah, you can't.
anybody.
I
for week
agree,
one at
but
least.
I think what Jason was starting to mention is Alex Smith. So I know you guys don't believe Alex Smith's going to come back or be part of this team, but let's say Alex
I
Smith
think-
tells them that he wants to come back, and they don't like their options. They make all the calls. Like Stafford, according to ESPN, teams are already calling Detroit, trying to figure out what it's going to take to pry Stafford from Detroit.
Right.
So let's say you find out it's just too expensive. They want too much. And all the different highways for all the top guys are gone. So now you're going to like lesser options, and you did like Jordan Love, and you can pry him away for, I don't know, a 3rd-round pick, a 4th-round pick. Maybe you go with the Alex Smith bridge quarterback, and you believe you develop Jordan
I'm not
Love as your
into giving
quarterback
up
of the
draft
future.
capital for a guy who can't even hit non-moving targets in practice. Why wouldn't you just keep your first-round pick and then pick your quarterback in round 2 or 3, a guy who's Jordan Love-esque, who has
What's
the same
the
sort
source of that? Doesn't hit. You know,
I'll
like,
tell you
what's
the source.
of that?
of Twitter.
Okay.
Twitter.
Because I mean, people were saying that about Josh Allen a couple years ago. And
Okay,
he's
well,
the
he-
MVP candidate this
Well,
year.
he refined himself. He refined his game.
Right. I
Okay.
would
His accuracy.
like Cakes is already set. He's already decided that Love stinks
Cakes,
because he heard that. But I would ask Cakes to watch some of the highlights and then see if you think that that's
I just watched
fair
some,
criticism.
I just watched 2 or 3 minutes. I mean, he was fine. Nothing
Right.
that was extraordinary, and certainly
There's
nothing I'm gonna part with any draft capital for.
So Cakes, if you don't want to trade the 1st-round pick and you want to draft a quarterback in the 2nd or 3rd round, and Alex Smith decides he's gone, who's your quarterback?
Then I'm going out on the market. I'm finding some sort of veteran to come.
Some
in.
sort of a bridge. All right.
He loves
Yes.
Fitzpatrick.
But you just don't want to trade
well-established.
for him.
But Cakes,
I
why would you
prefer
not
not
give
to.
up? Why would you not potentially give up maybe a 2nd-round pick for Jordan Love, who was a 1st-round pick a year ago,
Because I
and
don't- I think
whose stock shouldn't have gone down?
because I think he was classically overdrafted, like a lot of quarterbacks.
Okay,
are.
so why wouldn't you?
Okay, so
let's say he
trade
was
him a 2nd-round pick.
Right, or a 3rd or a
Then-
4th rounder.
Then I go with my own 2nd-round pick. I don't need to trade away something
He does-
that is
he's-
valuable.
he's out
You know,
because
So you
of
think
one
he's
tweet.
worthless? Like what
No,
draft pick do you think Jordan Love is worth to you?
at this point,
Yeah, I mean the guy's done nothing.
a third, a mid-round 3rd pick.
All right,
Maybe.
so a third's reasonable, maybe.
Maybe.
I'm not sure they would eat that much, but okay.
But I'm gonna look for a receiver in the 1st round if one's still there, and then I'm gonna draft my quarterback of the future in rounds 2 through 4. Whoever fits my system, whoever I like that's out there.
By the way, Valdez, what was my grade that I gave Jordan Love? Do you have it?
62.3.
Yeah.
I'm looking at I'm just seeing this now. The NFL on NFL.com, their prospect grade 6.36.
I
Your boy's
mean,
all over it.
yeah.
Very similar. They think though he'll be a starter within 2 seasons. So that would be next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be next year.
You better find a new home.